Hey everybody, Tony here. Welcome to the Yard Sale Finds Early Edition. First of all, what happened to my stuff? It's all gone. Oh no. My stuff. I think I told you guys a few videos back that I was gonna be, painting and spackling and all that kind of stuff, and I took my gear away for like a video, and then it all appeared back, and you may have thought to yourself, well, he must have painted and spackled. No, I didn't. I just put the stuff back because I thought that this right here kind of looks like the beginning of a snuff film, and I thought I needed stuff around, so I put it back. But now it's gone again because still got to spackle and paint. Got some of it done, but yeah, that's the deal. So if you're wondering why casting couch today, that's why. I am doing an early yard sale finds video because something happened today, and I gotta tell you about it. It's eating away at me, and I have to tell my friends. So it's basically what this is, a little story about a tale of woe and sorrow is what it is, I guess. Plus a couple of things I'm gonna show you. Plus some announcements. So there's a lot of stuff. And here we go. Okay, so there was a yard sale like right down the road from me, and I dropped by early on and they didn't really have the stuff set up yet, so I left and figured I'd hit it on the way back home. Now, in my mind I was kind of like working this whole thing up because I know the people who live there, and the kids who aren't kids anymore, they're my age, are my age, which in my mind meant like, ooh, maybe some 80s stuff might be squirreled away there. Plus it's a moving sale. So I kind of figured like, oh wow, there is potential there. So I was getting all worked up and excited about getting there and everything. So I hit these other couple yard sales, which I'll tell you about a little later. And I get there, and the woman recognizes me because I actually went to their yard sale last year as well. And of course, as soon as I walk in, as I did this time, she said, oh, I remember you. You were looking for something. I said, yeah, I look for Halloween. I look for horror. I look for 80s stuff, toys, anything like that. They had pretty good poker faces. They didn't say anything. They're like, oh, okay, well, there's stuff in the house. Go look around. All right. So I'm looking around, and it's nothing of much interest to me. Kitchen stuff and, just random crap. And then a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes into my wandering around, the guy who, again, he's like maybe a little younger than me, he kind of sidles up to me and goes, hey, I got a secret room downstairs. Want to see it? I was like, secret room? That sounds amazing. Okay. For a second, I mean, there was a moment where he's going to rape me. But, no, I was like, all right, secret room, let's go. There might be a clown waiting there with, a large dildo. It could happen, but I wasn't too worried. So I went down to the secret room, and I did have another moment of hesitation when he removed a little panel off of the wall, and it was like a little square opening at the floor. He looks at me and goes, you're gonna have to crawl in, do you mind? I was like, you go first, and then maybe I'll take a peek, I'll see. So he goes in, and I enter the secret room, and I was right by five, no, my jaw drops because it is 80s in this room. And my heart stopped. I was like, oh my god, this is the dream. First two things that enter my mind through my eyeballs. See, my eyeballs saw things, and then my brain said, holy shit. Ghostbusters and Batman. Now, the Batman stuff, alright, I'm not the biggest comic book collector. I'm not like huge Batman geek or anything. So that I put off to the side. But the Ghostbuster stuff, holy shit. Oh my god. Okay, where to even start? There are dozens upon dozens of figures. He has those boxes that have like, they're like made for the Ghostbusters that open up and you're supposed to put all your figures in there. He has two of those filled. Slimer, Egon, Venkman, the whole gang basically, Winston, everyone. All the little like accessories, all the monsters, everything. Nothing in packages, it's all open, played with, whatever, but still, I'm like, holy crap. And then I look a little closer, there's the Ecto-1. And I look a little closer, there's the freaking firehouse! The firehouse! Like, oh my god. They're the proton packs, the full-size proton packs that you put on, jumpsuits for children, the Ghostbusters jumpsuits, the traps, everything. It's everything. Posters, sticker books, friggin' color forms. I couldn't believe it. I'm having a heart attack. The guy is like, he could tell that I'm really excited about this. He's like, well, look through everything, pick out stuff that you want. I was like, alright. So I start putting stuff to the side. Oh my god. Put both cases, all the figures. The Slimer, definitely. The Ecto-1, absolutely. The Firehouse, I don't know what he's going to ask for that, but I'll keep it in mind. The proton packs, everything, like the costume stuff, I wasn't as interested in, but I'm thinking if he gives me a good price on all this, I'll take it. So I ask him, I say, hey, what do you want? And he gives me the old, well, I don't know, what are you thinking? And this scares me. It always scares me because I am notoriously, two things, notoriously cheap and notoriously broke all the time. So I don't have a whole lot of money to play with, and this is, I'm geeking out over this stuff, but let's be honest, I don't need it. It's gonna just, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. It's a lot of stuff. So I ask him, I tell him again, I'm like, listen, I don't want to lowball you. I tell him that. I don't want to lowball you. Give me a price to start with so I know what you're thinking. He won't do it. He won't do it. So I say, all right, just for the two little cases of figures and everything, I say, how about 15? I know it's a little low. I admit that. That's pretty low for what I was looking at, but it's a starting point, He's supposed to then come back at me with another price, and then we'll haggle a little bit. He thinks, and he thinks, and he thinks a little more. I'm getting worried at this point. I'm like, oh crap, did I sour this deal? He leaves to talk to his mom, I think. He comes back and he goes, listen, and then the words that freeze my blood are uttered. We have an appraiser coming in later in the week. Why me? Why? Why would this happen to poor Tony? I've never done anyone any harm. An appraiser, for the love of freaking Christ. Okay, fine. He's gonna have an appraiser come in. I don't know what to do at this point because I know what that means. It means that someone's gonna come in, look at the things, and then probably make an offer themselves and take it all away. So I get panicky and I say, is there any way that we could come to a deal here so that I don't have to wait a week? I double my offer. I say 30. No, I even say 35, I think. And he's kind of, he's not sure. I don't know. I think we really have to wait for the appraiser. I'm like, oh my god. Why bring me into this room only to smash my hopes and dreams against the rocks? This is the part of yard selling that people don't really talk about very often. It's not just about finding the gold. It's about finding the gold and also getting a good price on it. Because there are so many times where I come across amazing finds, but the people are just not willing to deal with you. And let's be honest here. I could go onto eBay and buy this stuff in a couple of days, Bid on it, it'll be mine. I don't have to go through the whole hassle of going around to yard sales. But I enjoy the hunt of it and the idea that you can maybe get a little bit of a break on the price. So when someone starts talking about eBay prices, what it goes for on eBay, having appraisers come in, it just kills me. Alright, so there also was a Nintendo sitting there, the second generation Nintendo, the top loader, with a couple of controllers, and you guys know that I need a Nintendo because I found those games a couple of weeks ago. So I'm asking, what about the Nintendo? Oh, he says, I'll do the Nintendo for 15. It has everything except for the RF connector, so I can't even hook it up, but he wants 15 for it. I go, alright. And then I say, listen, what if I just cherry pick a couple of choice items out of the figures that I want? Because as I'm looking at these figures a little closer, I'm noticing not only are they not in the packages, obviously, not only are they in pretty rough and played-in condition, but some of them have broken pieces. There's a lot of stuff missing from them. Some of them are sticky. And frankly, there's a lot of stuff that I don't want. You know, I mean, if he gave me a good price on the lot, I would have taken it all. But he's not giving me that. So I say, what if I just I took out Slimer, his little real Ghostbuster Slimer. I took him. I took the eyeball monster. And really that was it. Maybe a couple of these other little plastic things, they were like monsters, but maybe not Ghostbuster stuff. I wasn't sure what it was. Took that, I said, how about that for 15? So the Nintendo that you said for 15, throw in these couple of items here, we'll call it a day. He's about to say yes. He's about to say okay. And then his mother appears through the crawl space of the room. Just in time to tell me that the Slimer figure goes for $60 on eBay. And there's no way she's giving that to me. Oh. Okay. And she goes into the whole friggin' spiel again about the appraiser coming. She thought the stuff wasn't worth anything. Turns out the proton packs are worth over $100, and the trap, it goes for $200, and this is worth $60, and starts throwing these huge numbers out at me. And I'm like, listen, I wasn't even interested in that stuff, to be honest. I just want a couple of little figures. I'm a collector. I'm not going to sell it, but they're not having any of it. And listen, I understand. I want people to get the best price they can get. That's fine. I get that. I'm not trying to rip people off. But if they want to sell a big lot of stuff out of their house, they're not going to get eBay prices. It's just not going to happen. Alright, so anyway. I end up walking away with the Nintendo. So I got the top loader Nintendo. I got the controller, the arcade stick controller. One regular controller. And the power adapter. I got that for $10. Not bad, you know. That's pretty good. I can deal with that. They claim it works. I hope it really does. I can't test it yet because I don't have the RF box that you need to play these things. So I'm gonna need to invest a little more money in this to make it work. But for $10, you know, I walked away with something from there. But oh my God. I'm going to be dreaming about that room for weeks to come. So anyway, I gave him my card, I gave him my number. I told him, listen, give me a call after the appraiser comes. Let me know what's happening. They say they will. I don't really think they will. They might call, but I'm afraid like if they do call, it's going to be, you know, oh, we'll give this to you for $200. And I can't do it, you know. One last thing about this story. When I got home, I did go onto eBay to check how much these things go for. I could get a bunch of those figures plus Slimer for like $12. Most of those loose figures, you know, $2, $3, $4, $5 each at best. The Firehouse, okay, between $30 and $60 without the box. If you had the box, it's like $200, but they don't have the box. So, you know, only $30, $40 there. I wasn't even making an offer on that. The one place where they were right, apparently, is the toy proton packs and everything, the big things. Those seem to go for a little bit of money, but still not what they were saying. And I wasn't even interested in that part. So, kind of disappointing. Had to tell you guys about that. And yeah, I'll let you know if anything happens, you know, next week, if they actually call me, if they give me decent prices on any of this stuff. If I could have walked out of there with the lot of stuff that I wanted for like $20, $25, even $30, I would have been ecstatic. But it wasn't happening. They weren't even taking offers. So, you know, I mean, it happens sometimes. Sometimes the secret room full of 80s gold is just not enough. You also need the price. All right. So there was one other yard sale I went to today, and this apparently is the video game weekend because I managed to get a Genesis with 3 controllers. This controller, they said, probably won't work. You can see it's all messed up there at the wire. So I'm assuming that's broken. But 2 other controllers and the Genesis. Unfortunately, I got this for $1 because they don't know if it works or not. There's no way of me testing it either because it didn't come with the adapters. It didn't come with the connectors, nothing. But for $1, I'll take that chance any day. It takes a longer time to piece stuff together this way. But I mean, how do you pass this up for $1? So I got it. Now it's going to sit around probably until I manage to find some connectors for it and some game. I don't even have games for the Genesis. So we'll see what happens there. It might not even work, but hey, for $1, I'll take that shot. And the only other thing I got was a little container of skeleton hands. And honestly, the only reason I got this is because I kind of want to have, these are like little plastic skeleton hands. It looks like they probably went to something at some point. I don't know. But I just want to have these cool little items to throw in when I sell the when I sell my magnets and sculptures and stuff. I'm just going to be tossing in little like trick-or-treat, grab baggy kinds of extras like I showed you last time. So that's what those are for. And that's everything I got today. So overall, for just the Friday, you know, I might get some more stuff tomorrow and Saturday. Overall, not bad. Obviously, the Ghostbusters and 80s stuff that they had in the room there is a huge disappointment that's going to keep me up at nights. But, you know, what are you going to do? Before I let you guys go, one other little announcement. I've been working on the new magnet, and I have here the finished clay sculpture, which I actually baked and already molded, and even cast a couple of, which are drying with some spray paint on them right now. So I'm going to be doing a preliminary paint job on one of those figures, just to get like a pre-order up so you could see what it'll look like, and then I'm going to do the kind of the assembly line part of the game. For those of you who don't know, I was doing a Leslie Vernon magnet head. The clay figure, actually pieces of the hair broke off a little bit when I demolded it, so this is not precisely how it's going to look, but this is a pretty good representation of Leslie Vernon. So that is my Leslie Vernon. Let me get a little closer. Hopefully you'll be able to see this alright. That's my Leslie Vernon magnet head. Now this one, as you can tell, is smaller in diameter than the, I have a finished Sam one, a little smaller in diameter, but if you can see there, the thickness, I made it a lot thicker. Mainly because I felt that Leslie Vernon's head really needed to have that kind of bulbous look to it. Well, you know, the mask anyway. And I wanted to make that kind of show. So I put a little more dimension to this one. I put a lot of work into the hair, as you can see there. And hopefully it all translates in the finished piece. So again, this is just the clay sculpture, and again, a couple of pieces of the hair broke off from the demolding because it's just clay. But the resin pieces hopefully will come out alright. I had the first molding, the first one that I demolded of resin had some air bubbles around the hair. So I'm going to probably trash that one or just use it as a sample piece. And then knowing where the air bubbles were getting caught, I was able to kind of push out and be a little more careful with the resin when I poured it in. And the second piece came out perfect. So it will come really good with the finished pieces. I just, like I said, just have to give it a paint job, and then I could show you guys the finished piece for the Leslie Vernon magnet heads. Now, since these are a little smaller, I mean, they're not hugely smaller or anything, but since they're a little smaller, and since the detail paint job is going to be probably a lot less detailed than my Sam ones, simply because the mask doesn't have a whole lot going on in terms of like color and variation. I mean, you know, there's not too much that I have to do in terms of detail work. So I am going to sell the Leslie Vernon magnet heads for a cheaper price than I sold the Sam heads. The Sam heads I was doing $12 a piece. Leslie Vernon I'm going to do at $10 a piece. So I'm going to get to work on those, after probably show you a pre-order picture of the finished paint job, hopefully by tomorrow or by weekend's end. And yep, hope everyone's having a good time this weekend. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the yard sales if you go out to any of the yard sales. Pick something up for me. Oh, and I have an idea for a new segment that I'm going to do. and I'm calling it Stuff I Forgot I Own. Yeah, when I was cleaning up the room here, found some stuff that I didn't remember I own. So I'm going to do a new segment called Stuff I Forgot I Own. And it should be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys soon. Probably do a second part to the yard sale find video at the end of the weekend, and maybe midweek do the Stuff I Forgot I Own video. Alright? See you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye.